For people watching this where things are not going well, and this may be because they're a founder, maybe they're an exec, maybe there's a, like more, an individual contributor, how should they think about going through tough times?
The sort of culture of Silicon Valley has kind of been suffused over the last couple of decades with this idea of failing fast. And so there's just, kind of this general idea if something's not working, like there's all this opportunity cost and you should kind of punch out and do something else. And, look, there's very smart people who kind of articulate this point of view, Eric Ries most famously with the Lean Startup book and methodology. And, look, there's something to it, right? Which is like, okay, if something's not working, like, how much of your life do you want to spend pounding away at something that isn't going to work? And, a lot of companies pivot and modify their strategies along the way. And so, there's a role there. I've seen greater success come from the opposite approach, which is basically like almost, but not quite blind stubbornness. And, this is where we use the term courage very deliberately, which is basically like, look, I am not. Yeah. So actually, it's Elon Musk had the great quote. You can Google it. He said something. It was like SpaceX rockets kept blowing up or whatever. And he finally got upset. And it's like a famous email. And he says, "With God as my witness, I'm going to make this work." Failure is not an option. Right. Like we are going to keep pounding away at this until we get this to work. Here's an inspiring video to watch. There's a video on YouTube, which is a compilation video of every failed SpaceX launch.
I've seen that.
Right before they had the first successful one. And it is rocket after rocket after rocket after rocket exploding.
But that's actually an amazing visual because for a lot of companies, you don't have like kaboom, right? Like, you feel it. It's like, maybe people don't use that button or sign up or, they don't respond to a salesperson, but like you literally see, they call it I think, what is it? A rapid unplanned disassembly, which I felt like such a polite way of saying like it just went kablooey and blew up.
Yeah. And look, they almost lost the company. Like, who wants to invest in a company where the rockets keep blowing up?
I think what people outside don't get about like Silicon Valley and Elon Musk is it is so hard to not root for this guy. Just the sheer perseverance that he can demonstrate and just the punishment that he can take, but he will just not give up. It's just so admirable.
Yeah. He should have lost both Tesla and SpaceX. He should have lost them. They both should have gone under. They both should have gone under multiple times.
Yeah.
With I think basically any other founder, I think they both probably would have gone under.
Right.
And he just simply, part of it he's really smart. Part of it is he had great teams, and then part of it is he just would not quit. And then, by the way, not quitting like is infectious, right? Like when you have a leader, right, with that attitude, right, at the head of the company, like that's a big deal. By the way, there's actually here you can draw on like military, this is, a parallel domain that has a lot of the same kinds of things. But if you read accounts of like great battles and great generals and, heroic military, accomplishments under literal fire, a lot of it is they're a leader. The Marine Corps has the sort of motto or slogan of the Marine Corps is improvise, adapt, and overcome. And it's basically just like, look, no excuses. Like something is not working. You're on a mission. You're out there trying to make something happen. And like, your boat, like, whatever, your boat breaks or like whatever happens or your gun jams or whatever it is, improvise, adapt, and overcome. Right. And get it done. Right. And if that doesn't work, improvise, adapt, and overcome again.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. The Good Time Show by Aarti and Shriram.